Welcome to Crystal's Creations. Good morning, everyone. So lovely to see you this morning. I thought we'd go out for a peaceful July 5th garden tour. It appears that the peace is not here, but the garden is. The lawn is being done, so bear with me. I'll make a good portion of this tour talk over so you don't have to endure the sound of the weeder. So we'll just go on out and start having a look around. As you can see, there's some new things in the garden this year. We'll begin over here at the greenhouse, which has not stood the test of time with the storms in our area. As you can see, we've lost several polycarbonate panels during recent storms. This is the last season for this little greenhouse, so we used it as a trellis. And down here, we have some comfrey going. Whew, that is a stinker. That is comfrey and rainwater that we will use later on in the season. And these are lima beans, climbing lima beans. Lots of weeding that needs to be done. Some okra, basil, and celosia. See, the girls are out for their morning walk. Over on the table are a few bunches of coriander. I need to take those seeds off so that I can use them next year. Okay, that's about as much weed eating as I could stand. We're going to go ahead and head into the garden. As you can see, we're passing our small okra patch. The okra didn't do really well this year, but the cushaw melons did. We have harvested already several cushaw, and they're still going strong. There are 2 plants in this bed on A-frames, which we've never done before. And we were concerned that the weight of the cushaw would be too much for the vines. It turns out we were wrong. They are hanging on and staying on the vine just fine. The vines are very sturdy. You can see here in the gray Dollar Tree bag, we initially tried to support them for fear they would snap the entire vine, but they have not. So this may be helpful in some instances, but we didn't need it. This bed initially had 4 plants, two zucchini and 2 yellow squash. The tomatoes you see here replaced 2 of the plants that have already been pulled, and those 2 long rows were for beans. The 2 zucchinis that are remaining, they're headed towards the end of their life, but we'll take a check to see if there's anything to harvest. This looks like zucchini bread in the making to me. Wow, that got way too big. I love sunflowers. And as you can see here, my strawberry patch, although it needs a little weeding, looks great, and the strawberries are coming back. Here is a cushaw, and this pot right here had a King of Garden pole bean. However, it's seen better days. It's going to get pulled. But we do have a replacement all ready to go. This lovely cattle panel trellis has 4 squash plants, if I'm remembering correctly. 1 delicata, 2 Seminole, and I can't remember the 4th one. I'll put it in the notes if I remember. It is quickly taking over my little onion patch, but we've got some great onions out of here. This is what we would consider the entrance of the garden at this point. My loving husband built this little arbor. These pots contain sweet potatoes, pumpkin pie sweet potatoes, and rounding the corner you see the roses, the remnants of some really pretty hollyhocks, a little corner with just some flowers that I love. Heading around the corner there should be some basil. If you haven't tried basil and lemon and water, you're missing out. Long pie pumpkins start getting going, as well as some albino eggplant. If you find you don't like the purple variety, albino might be worth a try. We used several A-frames made out of cattle panel this spring, and we're continuing into the summer. The idea is that once this cucumber is gone, the long pie pumpkin start will take over the frame. This is another view of the cattle panel with the squash, and as you can see it took over a rose bush, and there is a Seminole. At one point that was a path. We are headed into our tomato jungle, covered by shade cloth. I cannot tell you how vital the shade cloth has been this season. I honestly don't think we'd have many tomatoes to harvest without it. What we did in this section was make a U out of cattle panel, and it's really worked well. As you can see, there are lots of cherry tomatoes to harvest. We'll fine tune the way we hold the shade cloth up, but it's worked. Well, it works if you actually tie the tomatoes to the trellis. Turns out I needed a little help. As you can see, the Seminole vine has made itself at home over here. And I didn't do a great job of staking. So let's see if we can get this girl out. Oh, that's huge.
I don't even know where to cut. This is all one tomato?
Cut right here.
Ah, there we are.
So we've got one.
Oh no, two.
So our hens have a little lawn of their own. We plant seeds through the hardware cloth, and they do a great job of pecking off the new growth and keeping it low. This just gives you a better view of the shade cloth. Again, it needs some fine tuning, but it's definitely a keeper for next season. And I believe this was 40% shade cloth. Not just our cherry tomatoes did well, but our mortgage lifters, which are my number 2 favorite tomato right after Cherokee Purple, are also doing great. That tomato turned out to be 1.5 pounds. And Marigold is pulling up the rear. She must have been laying. Does anyone else have mums blooming in July? The figs are doing quite well. We have 3 fig trees at this point. This particular one is surrounded by vines and so much mint that we really need to edge some down. The larger fig tree grew about 2 feet this year. This is our elderberry. It's the first year I think we might get a few berries. We call this area the Wilds for obvious reasons. It used to be an area for extra transplants, but it's turned into a productive little spot. Coming around, you get a look at the inside of the U, our U of tomatoes, as well as our Meyer lemon tree, which is taking advantage of that shade cloth as well. There are also several pots with various vegetables. We have a pepper plant going strong. It's been a great year for green peppers, although our hot peppers have really suffered. We also still have a bag of tomatoes growing, so we'll see how they pan out. We'll take a quick look at the center row of the garden. I forgot to mention these. It has our succession planting of cucumbers, a few more pepper plants, and there's a tomato in there somewhere, I believe. I want to encourage you, if your season didn't start off well, to go ahead and start some more seeds. There's still time to start things like cucumbers, squash, okra, and all sorts of beans. Don't be discouraged. Just try again. Give yourself some grace. Think of the harvest. That makes all of the hard work worth it. Thank you so much for joining me on this a bit noisy garden tour. I've enjoyed your company. See you next time.